All right. Buddha.
O.B, you made it hit, nigga.
Whoa, what it is, Dante? Here we are on another Sunday fun day, coming off of a W with our Houston Rockets. This is your B.O.P. Houston Rockets podcast every week with you. I got my co-host Dante here with us. What's up, Dante?
Hey man, what's good, man? Coming off a good victory. It always feels good to have a victory day, and today is happened to be Victory Sunday, man. So let's get right into it.
Oh man, when was the last time we had a podcast with a W? I can't even remember. It's been so
That was
long.
against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a podcast. We didn't have a podcast at that time, but yeah, we get to celebrate 2 victories on the weekend, so it's good.
2 victories, 2 W's. How long?
2 W's, yeah.
How does that happen in a week for the Houston Rockets? Today, guys, we're going over the week's games, Monday through yesterday. It's going to be a fun little chat. Later, we might talk about some of the little Houston Rockets biz kind of going on here if we got something else. Otherwise, we're going to go jump afterwards right into the coaching styles and differences between Silas and Lucas. I know y'all going to love that. Let's start off with that Minnesota game that we won, coming off of Jalen Green's career high of 42 points on 60% shooting, 50% from three. That was a fantastic game. I believe we were up for a portion of the game here, as per usual, and then that third quarter we really like to start to leak out, you know. But man, 42 points from him after coming off that stinker of just 9 points the game prior. I don't know, you know. I saw Jalen on Twitter with Silas doing that. They were checking out film and whatnot. That looked real nice. I didn't know he was going to come out and drop 42 on him though.
Yep. Oh yeah, man. But congratulations. I mean, to Jalen Green, he played a hell of a game. I mean, I knew he was hot. He hit the first 3 baskets of the game. I said, yeah, he's gonna have a great night tonight. They did a better job, you know, of containing Anthony Edwards because the last game he went off that last game. I thought we played really hard. We really played really hard that game, and we actually kept a goddamn lead for once. Was pretty good. Rudy Gobert did get a lot of touches, get some offense. He had 16 rebounds. You know, D'Angelo Russell was hot in the first half. We had no idea how to stop him in the first half, but the biggest part, we cooled him off in the second half. We started getting a little more containment in the second half on him. KJ Martin played 33 minutes. He didn't have his best game, but he played hell of a defense. And I can't say no more about Tari Eason, how well he plays coming off the bench. And, you know, his energies coming off the bench is almost like, you know, he should start. You can either start him or KJ Martin. But other than that, how LP, like I say, consistent 21, 7, and 7. You know, Jay-Sean Tate has been very good. Garrison Matthews actually played well on the defensive side of the ball, but he had 10 points in this game. I just thought it was all around good effort. It was better energy. We definitely did what we had to do to win the game. We shot 36% from the 3-point line. That was pretty solid. We did get to the free throw line 30 times, but we shot 66%. We can't get to the free throw line 33 times and shoot 60%. We lucky the Minnesota Timberwolves ain't that good of a basketball squad. They were that good. They would have made us pay for those. 47 rebounds. We out rebounded them. We definitely did a great job on holding them to one and dones. We played some good defense, got 5 blocks, but again, we had another 23 turnover game. The Minnesota, the first game prior, the last game prior to that, we had the same amount of turnovers, but we lost that game. This time we was able to get. This time we was able, you know, to win this basketball game. 24 assists. It was okay, but we had 56 points in the paint. 56 points in the paint. We definitely attacked the paint. We definitely did what we need to do. We definitely made 3-point shots when we need them. And Jalen Green was the man down the stretch. I mean, it was one play that we got the ball. We were supposed to run clock. How hot Jalen Green was, He shot the basketball. It wasn't even a great shot. It was an open shot. It was an open shot, but you wanted to run more clock. That's how hot he was. He made it. So at the end of the day, we did a great job. Better energy, doing a better job of containing more of the role players. Like Jalen, like Knight, them that went off the previous game. We did a better job, man. So very impressed with this with this game against Minnesota. Jalen Green definitely stepped up when we needed him to. And hey, that was turned into a great win.
That's the star that I've been harping on all season. Him being able to just come in clutch when necessary. I understand he's had this roller coaster of a season so far, but every player has. I mean, the only consistent player we've really had other than Şengün has been KJ and maybe even Tari Eason.
Yeah,
that's kind of it. Expectations, no disrespect, expectations have been low on Tari, and he's exceeded expectations unbelievably. And then KJ, we thought we were going to lose him for a bag of chips and nothing. And I'm really glad we didn't trade him. At first I was like, if he doesn't want to be here, get him the hell out of here. But I mean, he's absolutely producing and showing he deserves that contract extension, especially throughout these next 3 games. But like you said, yeah, we outscored them by 12 in points in the paint, 56-44. That was really nice. And despite our 23 turnovers, we were able to cause them to have 19
turnovers.
Yep. Which was actually nice to see us playing defense. My biggest takeaway is although Garrison Matthews had his 10, he still shot 2 for 8 from 3.
Yep, he did.
And when your whole thing is you come out there and shoot threes like we have him to, he needs to be our spot up shooter, and you shooting 2 for 8, it's not gonna work. Again, Garrison, I do appreciate the hustle, I really do, and I love you, but I mean, the only reason why we got you on our team is because I don't even know what's going on with Raphael Stone. I mean, it's pretty bad. We were also able to start off strong in the third quarter, which is actually our best quarter, believe it or not, for the very first time in a long time, 25-34. And then they started to come back in that fourth. They scored 33 to our 29, but we were able to hold the lead there with Jalen a couple clutch shots down and late, and that felt pretty good. Yeah, I mean, just all around a really fantastic team effort. I also want to give credit to Tari. I know you said he played well. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks off the bench, bro. Oh my goodness. Any playoff team would love to have something like that coming off the bench, get you 10 and 10 almost every night, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. I love that. And his defense on Anthony Andrews is pretty solid tonight, keeping him 45% from the field. And Gobert, he only took 8 shots. He did have his 16 rebounds, like you said. But at the end of the day, we were able to hold those role players that was beating us last time, Jalen Noel and Jaden McDaniels. That was really the big thing. But yeah, I mean,
and a thing,
42.
A thing about Tari Eason, his motor coming off the bench immediately impacts the team when he comes off the bench. And being over a 30, about at least a 36% 3-point shooter, between 35, that's a very good plus. But he's energized throughout the whole basketball game. That's one rocket when you can say that comes off that bench. No matter how bad we're getting beat, he's gonna give it all he's got. No matter how bad we get beat, no matter how bad the blowout is, he's gonna give it all he has gotten. And he, like I say, you can make an argument, man. He deserves to start. And I think he's all starting small forward of the future. KJ Martin, has been playing really good basketball too. I think we need to consider paying him. But again, I don't know what his state of mind is. I don't know if he still wants out. He hasn't said he still wants to be here. He wants to be a part of this team. All I know is he went to the front office and said he wanted out because he's not getting the minutes he deserved. Now, he is getting the minutes he deserves. He is getting over at least playing like starters minutes. He is doing that. But again, I would love to keep KJ Martin. I would love to re-sign KJ Martin and let him know, and that front office need to let him know that, hey, you're a part of this team. You're a part of this team in this future, and we have big plans. We have big plans for you. So, and likely, like I say, he deserves it. And I'm just happy that we got that win. We made the proper adjustments we needed to make. And Garrison Matthews, he's a terrible shot selector. And I'm telling you, every time this dude gets the ball, he'll pass up a wide open shot, then he'll try to reset, and then he'll try to shoot again. He'll try to shoot it again. That's all he does. He does not like. That's one player that I say that does not like taking wide open shots that much. Yeah, and he missed more wide open. He make the tougher shots. Then he make the wide open shots more wide open. Yep.
Facts. Back about Tari in his three career starts so far, he's averaging 14 points, 9 boards, and 2 assists. That is
Yep.
phenomenal for a first year
Yep.
7th, 8th string player to come out and average. I like that for starting. We just have too many pieces that like should start on our team, but I would absolutely kill to have Tari starting right now.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I love
You ain't
KJ.
lying.
Yeah,
Not
I love
lying.
KJ. I really do. But it's just something about the energy that Tari provides when he's out on the floor with Jalen and Şengün. It just really keeps everyone moving. I love the rotation and the length between Şengün, Bari, and Tari. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And Jalen's actually low key got that length on him too. So
Yep.
I think that's a good defensive lineup to have those 4 out there. Yeah, that's all we got for the Wolves game. Other than why is Garrison Matthews still on our team? that's the biggest takeaway to me. But yeah, I like to move on to the Wizards and Rockets game. As fun as that was there, so we came off our 13-game losing streak against the Wolves. There, they beat us the game prior. We beat them that night with 42 points from Jalen. Then our atrocious Wizards game. We were up for most of that game, as per usual, and then it all decided to fall apart in that fourth quarter. Jabari played fantastic defense on Kyle Kuzma throughout the entire game. Took him out in the fourth quarter, Silas did, and yeah, that's all she wrote. At the end of that, I mean, Kuzma took 25 shots, and he was just scoring from every bit of the field, 33 points on 25 shots. He took 13 threes. He only made 5 of them, but still, that's 5 daggers, 5 threes we did not need. I don't understand that Silas changed there to really have Kuzma, or the coaching switch to have Kuzma not be guarded by anybody besides Eric Gordon, our 6'3" shooting guard. That was not a good move on my end. But anyway, so we lost that game primarily in the fourth quarter. There, they scored 37 points to our 22, and we only ended up losing by 5. We had a fantastic lead. It took took out some plays, some starters, took out our scoring ability in Jalen, and that's kind of all she wrote after that. We had 19 points on 19 shots from Jalen, so not necessarily very efficient from that night. But Şengün, first he had his 10-point triple-double. Now he's got a 20-point triple-double, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Something about that 3 steals and 2 block company right there. He was absolutely unguardable from the paint with his spins and everything that he does down low. Just absolutely unguardable. Tate Love, I really did like to see what he was doing down there. He had 10 points. 8 boards and 4 assists off the bench. He's just a fantastic stabilizing force, but he's on that minutes restriction, so he can only play 21 minutes that game. And then, of course, Garrison Matthews. I mean, why do we have him, bro? Taking those shots, taking those threes. Maybe you can enlighten me.
First of all, I was in a lack of silence mode, because we one of the best teams in the league of giving the game away in the fourth quarter. And, I thought, like, when I was first looked at the game, when I first was watching the game, we immediately jumped on the Washington Wizards from the start of the game. We immediately jumped on them. Then we was up by 20. And 18. I was like, this team has been off the momentum of us beating, the Minnesota Timberwolves. We did everything right. They made a little run in the third quarter, but we was able to get up by double digits in the fourth quarter, 81-71, and I do remember that.
Yeah.
But Kendrick Nunn just got traded from the Lakers. That was his debut, and he went and he was a big spark for the Washington Wizards. But how can we win a game if we're only making 5 threes? In that game, we made 5 threes. We were 5 of 28 from 3. That hurt really, really bad. We couldn't make a bucket from downtown. We was atrocious from the 3-point line. Again, the free throw problems continue to hurt us. We was 14 of 20 from the free throw line, 70%, but it's still not great. You get into the free throw line 20 times. The Wizards got to the free throw line 23 times, shot 78%. We continue to out-rebound our opponents and still lose games. We continue We had 29 assists, which is we was moving the ball. 29 assists, that's a lot of assists. We were moving the ball around. Uh, the problem, here goes the problem. We had 14 turnovers. Most of them come in the fourth quarter. Most of them was in the fourth quarter of the game, and we allowed Kyle Kuzma to get hot and get anything he wanted in the fourth quarter. Most of those was open threes. And most of those was in basically transition threes. And nothing you can do about that. The guy was just hot.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter. The guy just got hot. He hit that one shot, that one three-pointer, and he was hot for the rest of the quarter. But at the end of the day, you lost the game at the three-point line. It seems to me. You shot 43% from the field, which is good. Pretty good. You shot 43% from the field, and we only shot 5 of 28. And they shot 12 of 30. They shot 12 of 38. So they shot more threes than we did. We was atrocious in the three-point line. You want to know how many points we scored in the paint? 70 points in the paint. We scored 70 points in the paint. We got everything we wanted to do in the paint. The paint was so sweet. And points off turnover, points off turnovers. We had 23, so we did everything right in the game but shoot the three. That's what lost us the game. That fourth quarter, I think we scored 12 points in the fourth quarter. Only 12 points in the fourth quarter. Nobody could hit a shot. Nobody get an open shot. It was all Kyle Kuzma in the fourth quarter. Huh? Yeah, 22 points in the fourth?
Yeah, 22 to their 37 in the fourth. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean,
still lost by 15 in the fourth.
Still lost by 15. Kyle Kuzma was held in check for half of that game, and then in the fourth quarter he just turned in to something different, and then we started turning the ball over again in the fourth quarter. We were losing possessions because we were turning the ball over, but we did everything right. But turning over in the fourth quarter and shot the three ball poorly.
Yeah. I mean, I just at this point, like, what do you do? Jabari, our 3-point sniper, went 0 for 5. Eric Gordon, our veteran presence, went 1 for 6 and was a minus 21, a team low again for the season. Jalen 2 for 8. I'm not really worried about the people that shot just 1 3, and then Garrison Matthews, our supposed 3-point sniper, 2 for 7. I mean, it feels like we win a game, we got so much momentum. We're like, yeah, like now we can go on a little run, a little streak, and then we just can't hit shots. We get, too lackadaisical. We get complacent. We think we know what's going on, what's going to happen. In that fourth quarter, we think we just going to cruise. And no, we are not good enough to just hit the cruise button and snooze our way through the fourth quarter. We have to bury them. Or if it's a close game, we need to keep the pedal to the metal the entire fourth quarter. It's that energy. It's going to be a theme of this podcast, everybody. Energy. I wish we have more of it. And I mean, even though Tari wasn't going absolutely crazy, I mean, his hustle shows so much more in the box score. His play style, no respect. But he reminds me of that David Nwaba presence. Just being able to come out there with a high motor, get every dang rebound in sight. He missed them layups, but he still gets the cup. To be honest, I don't think he's getting respect from the whistle as much as he should be, because he is a rookie, so he gets that rookie whistle. But he's really getting to the cup at a high speed, high pace. He pushes the ball. I mean, him and Tate on the floor just look really good together. I really like that combo.
I really do. I like that combination. And he's gonna at points he's gonna have some really off nights, but at the same time, he never stopped giving you effort. He never stopped giving you effort. He's gonna always get on that floor and give you 100% every night and give you all he's got. Like I say, I love Tyrese, and every time he gets in the game, hey, he's energized, and I'm just loving to watch. And again, like I said, I'm gonna go back to my two favorite Rockets, Tari Eason and Josh Christopher. Josh Christopher, every time he comes on the floor, the man can play. The man is a player. He can ball, man. He can ball. He just need more minutes. But like I keep saying over and over, I don't know. You had him last year. You were playing him some good minutes last year. He showed you he could score. All of a sudden, he drops up out of the rotation. What did he do to drop up out of the rotation so bad? Who's playing better than Josh Christopher? Josh Christopher, that for him not to be deserved to be in the rotation. And I understand start, but rotation, come on now. He deserves to be in that rotation. He deserves to be in the rotation.
We got Garrison Matthews playing more minutes than him.
Playing more minutes than him. Playing more minutes than he is. Yeah.
Absolutely the heck not, bro. Garrison Matthews playing more minutes than Jess Christopher is a war crime. I cannot believe that.
Yeah.
But on good news, Daisha Nix didn't play. Daisha Nix did
We
not
don't need
the
him to
game.
play no more. We need for him to stop playing.
Yeah, bro. He do not need to touch the ball no more. I was sad to see Tai Tai and Uzi not get any game time. I don't know. I was kind of sad. And Bruno, for being this supposed like big rim runner presence down low, he did get 2 offensive rebounds, which was tied for third most with Jayshawn Tate, our 6'4" point forward, if you will.
Yeah.
But I mean, even Tate is out rebounding Bruno at this point. I mean, what was the decision earlier in the season to start Bruno over Şengün? Because if we're thinking about it this way, the only reason why Şengün got the start isn't because of how he was playing, because we all knew Şengün should have started. Us as fans, and even players knew that Şengün should have been starting at the beginning of the season. Coaching still went with Bruno, and the only reason why Şengün ended up starting is because Bruno got hurt. It took an injury, just like last season.
For them to let him see that he's actually the better player. Come on now.
Yes. He got 2 triple doubles in this season. He's got 2. He was the youngest center to get a triple double. All right. And then he's got 2. He's got a 10-point and a 20-point triple double. Oh my goodness, bro.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I love Şengün so much.
Man. I love him, man. That dude's good, man.
Most improved player of the year, man. I know he's probably not going to win it because of our record, but yeah. And Lauri Markkanen is obviously 24-10. That's an all-star. Yeah. But Şengün, man, I love that. I'm a Şengün truther. Just as much as I am a Jalen truther, it's just harder to defend Jalen than.
It's hard to defend. It's just hard to defend him, man, because we don't got that much of a very good team. We don't got a very good team, and when you're not winning, it's hard to get recognized out there and get these guys put out there when you're not winning. When you're struggling, bad as we're struggling, it's hard to get them out there and get that recognition to make a case for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I could have not said that any better. Absolutely, 100% true, man. Absolutely. So now let's move on. We talked about our W, then our L. Let's talk about our blowout loss to the Cavs. Oh my goodness. 113-95. We couldn't even put up 100 points. Oh my goodness. Evan Mobley, it was sweet down low. He only shot 6 of 17. So the box score shows it looked like he didn't play too well, but he was so dominant, man. 21-10 with 3 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. I mean, Evan Mobley is just a really nice player. I'm not going to say who should have gone before who. As a Rockets fan, I will say Jalen should have gone before him regardless. That's just me. But in this order that we got going on here, Evan Mobley just looks like a fantastic player next to Karis LeVert, Darius Garland, and Donovan Mitchell. He's a really nice player. He also had he made 9 free throws, had 10 total. I mean, wow. He had almost half their free throws as a team.
So it's kind of got the win right back. And we take a beat down in the same week. We take a beat down, and this was a beat down. We would never end this game from start to finish. We would really never end this basketball game. I know the score. We lost by 18 points, but they took their foot off the gas at the last. They took their foot off the gas. They started relaxing on us. But this was an atrocious ball game right here. This was a terrible ball game. They dominated from start to finish in this game. Like I say again, it's nothing much we could have done well in this game. Like I'm saying, Darius Garland is really good. He's a really good player. He's an all-star caliber point guard in this league. Then you have guys like Dean Wade who can come off the bench and shoot. J.D. Osman who can shoot the basketball. This team is assembled perfectly. around Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Like I say, I definitely agree with what you said. I still think Jalen Green was the right pick. It's just we're a bad basketball team, and Cleveland is set up better for the future. And Jalen Green has, like I say, again, better upside than he does. I think he still has the better upside than he does. It's just they are on a faster rebuilding pace than we are, and the front office just did a great job. Front office just did a great job of putting guys around them that can really play the game of basketball. Well, we got guys that shouldn't even be playing on the court and
Shouldn't be in the league.
Yep. And so that's the difference right there. But again, we shot great from the field, 51% from the field. You know what? You want to guess how many threes we made again in the game?
No, less than 10, I bet.
Yeah, it was less than 10. It was the same. It was the same amount of threes that we made in the Minnesota game, in the Wizards game. 5 threes.
Oh my goodness!
Who are we beating? Making 5 threes? Who are we beating? We're not beating anybody.
What
making
team?
5 threes. What team? You're not even gonna beat. You're not gonna even beat a YMCA team making 5 threes.
No.
In a game, you're not gonna do that. Again, Cleveland made 15 threes. They made 15 threes. Again, you want to know how many free throws we made? We made 12, and we was at the free throw line 20 times. So our free throw loads continue to hurt over and over. We shot 60% from the free throw line. We did out rebound Cleveland, which is we seem to do. We seem to out rebound Cleveland. Seem to out rebound our opponents pretty solid. We did do that. 24 assists, a little bit of dropout, but it's okay. It's fine with that. That's pretty solid. 22 turnovers. 22 turnovers. You're not beating a great Cleveland team with 22 turnovers. You're definitely not doing that. Again, we can score points in the paint at 60. We score 60 points in the paint. The problem scoring in the paint is not a problem, but when you're making 5 threes against good teams, and especially against good teams like Cleveland, that's not going to get you anywhere. Then we're not a good free throw shooting team. We can't even make free throws, so that's a problem. But we were never in this game from the start. We were never in this game.
Yeah, 1 for 3, 2 for 5, 1 for 2. I mean, we got to make a free. It's a free throw. It's free.
Yeah,
these are free points. That's why I call it a free throw.
Yep.
Damn, bro. Man, it's just really hard. Something I would like to say is, despite only playing 19 minutes, despite having Evan Mobley draped all over him, Jabari Smith still shot 6 for 9.
Yeah, he was very good. He was very good in this game. Early in this game, he was very good.
Yeah, he had 4 turnovers and 4 fouls. But again, I mean, this is when you look at this game, like you look at this, you're like, yep, this is what a playoff team should do. Is you come in, you press hard, and then you coast. The thing that we try to do in the fourth and third quarter every time we're up by 2 points. This team can actually coast. They come in hard and quick. And make sure they put their stamp on in the first quarter there, and then that's all she wrote. It's at the end of the day, that's all we can do.
Yep.
Also, I would like to say is that our Rockets, as a community rebounding team, is just always outstanding when we can just get every rebound on the floor, despite Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen both having 10 rebounds and Darius Garland getting 4 himself. I mean, that's pretty solid, if you ask me. But our top rebounder was, again, our energy guy.
Yep.
Our GOAT. Tari, bro. 18 and 10, or 18 and 11, excuse me. 5 offensive rebounds. 5. Everyone else on the team that had an offensive rebound was 1. He had 5. I just love that. Şengün also played, like you said, fantastic. 14, 7, and 7. 2 steals, 2 blocks. What more can he do?
What more? Yep.
What more can he do? I would like to say, hopefully, in quick recovery to Jalen. He did get injured in this game. I hope he does recover quick. But on to the regular game stats, shooting 2 for 9 is inexcusable. 6 points, 2 for 9, minus 23, 3 turnovers, which 3 assists. You had a steal, which was nice, but 6 points, 3 assists, and a steal is all you had in 20 minutes of run, 28 minutes of run.
Yep.
That's rough, man. That's real rough. Again, like I was saying, on the Jalen agenda, man, this game, you're 42. And then 19 points on 19 shots. 6 points on 9 shots. I get it. Again, second year, bad team, bad coaching all around.
Yep.
This is the product. He's a product of his environment. And our environment is we don't even have an identity yet.
We don't even have an identity. We got Dacian Nix, guys that get minutes who clearly can't goddamn play, who clearly showing he cannot play. We got Garrison Matthews who loves to just get in and just shoot everything. But other than that, our surroundings around Jalen Green may be a little tough for him to emerge into one of that superstar stardom. Now, I believe he's going to be a star. He's going to be a star in the league. I can believe he can get to for us that superstar stardom. If we can improve this roster and show some signs that we can get better by the next coming year or a year or two, then it's going to be hard for him to emerge into a superstar stardom. I believe he can be a superstar. I believe he can average around that 25 points per game, 26 points per game range. I believe he's going to be a multiple-time All-Star. By the time his career is said and done, he's going to have plenty of All-Star teams. But at the end of the day, it's going to be hard because we don't have good players, or we don't have great outside of LP, outside of Kevin Porter Jr., who can be great. We don't have the surroundings around these guys that could be really good. Jabari Smith looks like he's going to be a 3-and-D wing, more of a 3-and-D power forward than now, the way it looks like. But this is only his first year, and I believe he's going to keep getting better as the year goes on. If he can just shoot the ball consistently going into this All-Star break and finishing off the year, I think we got something there. We know we're going to have something in Tari Eason. We're going to have something in KJ Martin if he decides to stay with this team. We're gonna have some in Jason Tate. So we got the guys that can compete. But again, we may have to have a different change of scenery with the coaching staff and with the coaching. And it's a really reason why we keep shitting the bed in the fourth quarter and not playing 4 quarters of basketball. We literally in the game with most of these teams to the third quarter, and somehow it's a different energy level coming out in the fourth quarter. We don't finish quarter strongs. We don't start the fourth quarter the right way, and it's got to be something wrong. It's got to be something wrong with that, but it's definitely what makes me more sick than ever. You got John Lucas is 2-0. You know who 2 wins. I know Detroit is not really a good team, but you know one of those wins came from against an elite Milwaukee Bucks team.
We did beat the Bucks.
An elite Milwaukee Bucks team that shut down Giannis the second time. That's where John Lucas' other win come from. So imagine being. Now I'm not saying he should be the head coach of this team because I think this league is probably past him a little bit. But he's a very good motivator. He's something. In case if we do get a head coach, he's something you can consider keeping on the staff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, man, he's just a fantastic energy change in coaching. But I liked what you said earlier about stats and Jalen regarding his second year. I mean, for context, before I get on my little soapbox here, Jalen currently is averaging about 22 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm sorry, 0.7 steals, 0.2 blocks on 3 turnovers a game. 41% from the field, 33% from 3, 78% from the free throw line. It doesn't sound fantastic, but for a second-year player that has had, I mean, literally Kobe and Jordan comparisons his first year. I mean, that's a lot of pressure comparatively to a finals member, someone who just made the finals a couple years ago, who was seen as an All-NBA player, seen as Kobe's equal in some regards, the next Mamba, if you will, Devin Booker. His second year in the season, man averaged 22 points a game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds on 36% from 3, 42% from the field. That's very comparable.
Yep.
And, I mean, Devin Booker, he had solid people. He had PJ Tucker on his team. He had Jay Crowder. Yep. Yeah. He just gotten he gets DeAndre in the next year, I guess. I mean, it's not like he didn't have nobody on that Suns team that year. I mean,
and he had better coaching than we had.
infinitely better coaching. And I mean, Devin Booker has played with, I think, 6 coaches throughout his entire
Yeah,
career.
because one of
And
them he played. One of them is on our bench right now. Hornacek. One of them is on our bench right now. Who they did fire. Who they did fire on that part right there. So Devin Booker, like I say, his surroundings are by far better than Houston. This team right now, what Jalen Green is playing with. I mean,
absolutely.
we believe Kevin Porter and Jalen Green can be one of the best backcourts in the league in the upcoming future. Since we did lock Kevin Porter Jr. up, I
Yes.
think that has an opportunity to become one of the best backcourts in the future. Um, Again, we got some phenomenal pieces, but again, you got guys out there who clearly showed you time and time again, like Dacian Nix cannot play. He just not good. He's just not playing. Why is you not seeing? I see why Ty Washington gets in the game and he struggles.
Yep.
Because one night you want to play him and the next night you don't want to play him.
Yeah.
Now it's a time like when you got guys that's going up out of the game, that's out of the game, that's hurt. You want to see what you got. You want to throw all you guys out there, try to throw all you guys out there and see what you got.
Yep.
John Lucas has sense enough to put Ty Washington out there on the floor.
Yeah.
Have confidence in Ty Washington. You got Dacian Nix getting on the floor, getting you 3 points. Out of all of these minutes he plays, he can only get you 3 points. Hell, I could get Ty Washington to go out there and give me the same production, but not probably better production out there. But other than that, we got guys on this team that clearly can't not play, and the surroundings just not good enough for LP. And them right as of right now, they're not good enough for LP and Jalen Green and them. And then you got Kevin Porter out. Now we had Sengun out with an illness last night. So that it doesn't get it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I expected us to lose that Cavs game, but I thought we were going to be much closer. I mean, again, like we lost to the Wizards, and it just seemed like they sapped all that energy out of us. Like there wasn't much fight, and like I said, like our star guy shooting 2 for 9, that's not a recipe for winning. I mean, James Harden could shoot 2 for 9, but he'd still have 20 free throws.
Yep.
That's the difference, I guess, is like, and obviously I'm comparing year 2 Jalen to prime James Harden. I understand how that looks, but what I'm saying is he should have a couple more free throws in his bag. If he's going to be missing, he's got to have something like that. And I'm almost starting to worry about that 3 ball. I mean, he did shoot 6 for 10 or 6 for 12 from 3 that Wolves win, and that was very nice. But I mean, recently he's just been on a downward spiral from his 3-point percentage, and again, he's shooting 33% as a second year guy. And I really hope we can work out that jump shot. I just hope it's not a Lonzo Ball thing, where he looks like he's supposed to be a fantastic shooter. He shoots okay his first year, and then the next 2 or 3 years he just can't shoot. Like that Markelle Fultz disease. Like he started hanging out with Ben Simmons, then all of a sudden forgot how to shoot threes.
Yeah, I mean, I gave him a pass on shooting, 33%, 34% last year because he was a rookie, because he got hot. When the All-Star break came up, he got hot, and he's starting to make that 3 consistently. Now I'm kind of disappointed because you're still shooting a three ball rate at the same level when I'm expecting you to improve on your 3-point shooting. So again, he's got to get better at that 3-point basketball, but that started by being more aggressive, taking better shots from the field. And you got to, once you realize that you're off, this is something that James Harden was good at, that you alluded to. When he was off, he was getting to the free throw line. He was getting to the free throw line when he was off. Jalen Green got to realize, if you're going to be off, you got to get to the free throw line. You got to go to the basket. You got to get a couple of free throws to get that rhythm. Going. And once you hit a 3-pointer, now you got a feeling of what it's like when the ball go between the net.
Yeah, I mean, we can even transition right into the next game here. That fantastic Rockets-Piston game. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat from start to finish that game. And, we're saying getting to the free throw line, Eric Gordon did not have a good shooting night. 1 for 8 from 3. But you know what he did? He got to the free throw line and shot 7 for 7 and sealed the game. Our 34-year-old veteran came out there with a bunch of kids and said, all right, let me cook. And he cooked.
Yep.
You know.
You good? You straight? You straight?
Okay. All right. So yeah, Eric Gordon just clutch play after clutch play throughout the entire game. I mean, free throw, assist, free throw, score. Eric Gordon, where the hell was this? What? Where the hell is this at? I've been waiting on this, man. He had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, or I'm sorry, 7 assists, 2 steals. I mean, Gordon, you looking like a point guard out there. Where's the spin?
When the last time that Eric Gordon had 7 assists in a ball game? 7 assists in a ball game. Now I know Eric Gordon as a scorer and as a scorer, but not as a playmaker. So he done a really good job of moving the ball around again. What I was talking about, Josh Christopher came in 11 points right off the bench. Jayshawn Tate was big in this game, who had a big offensive rebound after the KJ Martin miss at the free throw line when he scored over Jalen during the tie game. Give credit to Jayshawn Tate winning right in there, got that rebound, even though he missed the putback, but that allowed KJ Martin to get the putback himself. And again, Jabari Smith did not play great on offense, but how about that defense that he played on Alec Burks? That tough defense that forced the jump ball. He won the tip. He also had 12 rebounds. He was very good on the boards. And Garuba knocking down 2 big corner threes.
Huge.
2 huge ones. Nothing but
is loose.
Yes, let it loose. That's why I was saying he's shown signs he can shoot the basketball. They're going to leave you open. You got to make them pay. He's shown signs of making the 3-point ball. Those were 2 huge 3-pointers in the corner when we definitely needed them. And, Jason Nix had an okay game. I can't be mad at him this game, but he's still not a good player. Still can't play. He had 9 points in the 3-pointer when he was down by 4. I believe it was 93. It was 90 to 94. That was a big-time 3-pointer that he definitely hit. But Garuba back, and after that, Garuba hit the back-to-back 3-pointers to give us the lead pretty much. But like I say, Tari Eason, 16 points, was very good in this game. 10 rebounds. He had 10 rebounds too. KJ Martin continues to be impressive, man. 15 and 13. We mentioned the offensive rebound that he got, the put us up, the putback offensive rebound, but that play was kept alive by Jayshawn Tate going in there after the miss and getting that rebound, allowing KJ Martin to come and get that rebound. I'm very impressed with John Lucas's coaching, his ability to adjust, put the right lineup in. Bruno Fernando came in and got minutes, 17 minutes, 8 minutes up, was pretty productive in that time. Guess what? And you know what the good thing about it? You know what the good thing about it, Press? Hey, we didn't have to see Garrison Matthews for too much. He only played 13 minutes. We didn't have to see him a lot. We didn't see him a lot.
And he only took 2 shots.
Yes, we didn't see him a lot.
Oh, that's all we asked for. Now, he did shoot 2 for 3 from the free throw. I'm okay that you missed 1 because you only took 3 shots. That's fine. That's fine. The percentage looks bad, but 2 for 3, that's absolutely fine. You took 2 shots. You made 1 of them. Fine. That's all you need to do. Now, don't touch the damn ball again. Just stop. You came in. You did your thing productively. I know the box score says you were -9, but, I mean, his hustle plays down the stretch there. I mean, he was getting into it with the what was it, Jalen Duran or Jaden Ivey? Well, one of the two. One of the Jadens down low. He was getting into it a little bit, a little bit of chatter back and forth. Fired him up, came down, boom, hit a 3. Boom, 2 free throws. Oh my gosh. Please, Garrison, if you want to remain a guy on this team, please just don't go out there like you Steph Curry and thinking I got to keep my job and shoot every 3. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Come out there and be steady, be calm. Don't get complacent, and you will make your shots. I promise you will. But stop getting it, trying to decide what to do with it for 4 seconds, and then just shooting it with the hand up. That's what really holds us. When you get those wide open in transition 3s, it's well out water. Let it fly every time. But like you said, Garrison only played 12 minutes. I mean, Uzi, a 6'8" forward center, played 20 minutes tonight. I mean, he still got 5 rebounds, 6 rebounds total. He had an assist, 8 points, 100% from the field. Man, it couldn't have been any better for him tonight.
Yep.
We talk a lot of BS about Daisha Nix on the show.
Yep.
And it's because, again, love the man, but he's G League material, you know.
Yep.
He's just G League material. But tonight, he played well.
He played well.
Really
We gotta give him that credit. He did knock down 3 threes. He did hit a big three, you know, which is I mentioned that put us down by 1, and then after that, Garuba come back with 2 straight threes in the corner. When he does well, when a player does well that we're not too high on, we will give him a credit. But again, we still don't think he deserves to be on this level. I still think Tata Washington is actually the better player, just not being used at all. And I say, give John Lucas the credit for the rotations that he's played. Josh Christopher deserves to be out there on the court. You've seen how much instant that he gets out there. And he gets out there and put the ball in the basket. And that first half, you know, when we had that double-digit lead, couldn't go any better. And Josh Christopher was a big part of that, why we busted that lead to 12, and then we end up letting it go, like which we expect at some point in the game that the team is gonna get momentum and let it go. And then again, one thing about John Lucas again, when the Pistons got on the big run. You know what he did? He called a timeout. Calmed the guys down, and we got on a run. He stopped the bleeding. Steven Silas, you'll just let us get it. You'll just let us get salt.
Oh, you got it.
That's going to be assault. So that's one thing about, you know, Coach John Lucas. He played the right rotations. He stopped the bleeding. He motivated the guys, and we did not let the game slip away in this game. We know it was the Detroit Pistons, but hell, we lost to the Hornets, and we couldn't stop the bleeding against the Hornets.
Yep. They didn't even have
they probably even were. They right there with us, with the Pistons. They right there. They're right there. Their team won too much as better.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. It felt. I'll say though, at first our starters were looking real dry. That first quarter, it was looking real bad. I look up and it's 4-16.
It was looking like if they were going to run away with this game. It was like they were going to run away with it. Yo.
I was like, oh man, here we go. You know, no Jalen, no Şengün, no KPJ. Here it is. It is what it is. And guess what? John Lucas said, nah. He outcoached. Players outplayed, out hustle, out energy, out rebounded. There was not a moment where I wasn't like, oh, Bari did this. Eason did this. Eric Gordon. It went in. Oh my gosh. It was just a high energy, high consistent game. And honestly, this was so well deserved. I mean, when was the last time we can sit here and say, like, other than that 42 piece, our team, we were proud. And not only that, we didn't even have our head coach. We had John Lucas, who was the supposed bad guy of the assistant coaching staff, and he just came out. Like, I feel like when he's out there yelling, he's gonna have a heart attack. Like, he gets so up, and I get so angry with it. But I love it. It's the energy. And that's what our team needs, is someone to come in and make sure that the energy is still there. You know, he's not like yelling at us as players in a bad way. He's making sure that they don't lose confidence. And I love that. You know, Silas just sits there, arm crossed, and nods. Or sometimes he'll just go like this. You know, like, boy, what are you doing? And then that's it. That's all you get from him, you know. When he challenges calls, he just throws a little. He's not energetic like John Lucas. And I think that's the difference between a coach that is kind of an assistant coach fighting for his job versus a coach that's secure in his job and thinks he knows what he's doing. And I love that energy from John Lucas.
You know, the two coaches that John Lucas outcoached, he outcoached the coach of the year, which was Dwayne Casey the year that he got fired, and a NBA Finals head coach in Mike Budenholzer. Those are the two coaches he basically outcoached. And Steven Silas couldn't do that. Steven Silas could not outcoach Steve Clifford, a man who just got a second opportunity with the Charlotte Hornets. He could not outcoach Steve Clifford. That's a difference. Motivation is a really difference. What you tell the players is a big difference between Steven Silas and John Lucas. John Lucas brings that different energy. He brings that different voice. He knows how to stop the bleeding when a team is on a run. And he knows how to make adjustments to the lineup. He knows who to put out there. He knows the rotations. Who knows who gives him the best shot to win games down the stretch. And that's the difference between, John Lucas as of right now, the 2 games that we've seen, and the rest of the season that we've seen from Steven Silas. John Lucas played the game of basketball. He played the game of basketball at a high level. For the Houston Rockets, too. He played for us.
Yes.
He played for us at a high level. So he knows the ins and outs. Coaching's probably past his time. And a lot of people say he can't be a head coach in this league. But right now, we're 2-0 with John Lucas as our head coach. And when Steven Silas has to sit out, we're 2-0 without John Lucas, and the players respect him. The players go out there and play hard for him. No matter if it's a win or loss, they play hard for him. And we were down by 5-6 points in the fourth quarter, and we managed to keep it going and keep it close and make some key threes that give us the win. But that timeout that he called when the Pistons got up by 5, hey, that was the timeout right there that Steven Silas would not have called.
Yep.
That would have been an assault, other stuff. But, he called the timeout quickly, and he said, come here, guys. I can see his hand say, come here. Let's talk about this. Let's settle down. Let's go back to what we were doing in the middle of the third quarter, and in the second quarter, let's go back to when we got the lead. We started running good offense. Eric Gordon had 7 assists, starting to get guys involved. We started getting on the offensive board. We shot free throws pretty good. We shot it better. We shot it better from the free throw line.
78%.
Yes, we shot free throws pretty good. And, at the end of the day, we were being aggressive. We got free throws. We even scored points off turnovers. We even got points off turnover. We even scored off the turnovers. So that's how good the game was going.
We actually scored our opponent in a fast break points for the first time in 16 games.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. 15-4. So not only were we able to score in transition, we were able to stop transition points too.
Yep.
That was also very effective. We also scored 70 points in the paint.
Yep.
That's our rhythm. Is we gonna beat you in the mid range, we're gonna beat you in the paint, we're gonna beat you on fast break points, we're gonna beat you at the free throws. We don't gotta shoot the 3 very well. We shot 8 for 29, I believe, from 3, about 29%, 30% from 3. That's not a great percentage. It's really not.
No, it's a terrible percentage.
Yeah, it's absolutely atrocious. But guess what? We shot 44 for 92 from the field. That is exactly what we want to see. Not only that, we had 16 offensive rebounds.
We can rebound the ball. We can rebound with the best of them. Yep. The rebound is really not an issue. The rebound is not an issue at all. We can rebound.
Yeah, we had 3 people in double-digit rebounds tonight. Wow. Oh, my goodness. 13 rebounds from KJ, 10 rebounds from Tari, and 12 rebounds from Jabari. Oh, my goodness. I'd also like to say KJ and Tari Eason both had a double-double, 15 and 16 points each. And Tari Eason, oh, my goodness, this game. Oh, my goodness. He shot 7 for 15, but oh, my goodness. There was about maybe 2 or 3 layups, whatever. All of his other shots were just so good. I mean, high energy, getting down there for the fast break, making sure he get into the bucket. There was one point in the third quarter where he started getting complacent a little bit. He missed a layup, started getting his head. Someone got the rebound. He was calm for it back, didn't get the ball back, and then got it back towards the end of the position and threw up a shot. We had to call a timeout right there. Tari was real pissed. And I tweeted at Twitter. I said, hey, Tari, just, calm down, be calm, cool, and collective. And Tari Eason's mom tweeted me out saying, bruh, he just needed to calm down. And guess what he did? He calmed down, played fantastic the rest of the game, went 3 for 3 from the field, got his 2 more rebounds after that, including an offensive rebound, had 2 steals, only 1 turnover from the game. It was in a plus 12, and that game we only won by 3. Tari, dude, I love you, man.
I love Tari Eason, man. He's my favorite Rocket. I was very high on him when we drafted him. I straight called it. Man, let's get Tari Eason, bro. Yes. Let's get him from LSU, a guy that can spread the floor, that can shoot, that can put the ball in the basket. He's a phenom in transition. He's very long. He can guard every position, 1 through 4. He can guard 1 through 4. And he's very good to play in a small ball lineup. I was campaigning to get Tari Eason. When we got Tari Eason, I was almost about to jump up on the roof because I knew what type of player that this guy was going to be. Yeah. And we seen it in the summer league and in the preseason. Like his game immediately showed in the summer league and in the preseason how well he could defend, how well he can shoot, how well he drives to the rim. And like I say, man, every time this guy gets on the floor, I'll be happy to see this guy. I even got him on my fantasy team. That's how high I was on him. I
Oh
even
yeah.
got him on fantasy. This guy is really good, bro. And like I say again, this dude is good enough. This dude should be starting. He should. You can make a case. You could put him in the starting lineup, but you're not gonna throw him in the lineup. You don't want to throw him in the lineup because you still got Eric Gordon now, who's taking up all the minutes on that side of things.
Yeah.
And you want to boost his trade value up as much as you could, which is, I believe, that's what we need to do at the trade deadline coming up in a couple more weeks. We definitely need, to probably see, can we get a late first round pick out of him? I guarantee you that's what Raphael Stone want, is a late first round pick, not too low, but a late first round pick to get Eric Gordon to one of them playoff contending teams or to a championship contender. You could just get a pick for Eric Gordon. That's all we would be happy about, is getting the first round pick. And you throw someone like Tyrese in the starting lineup. He deserves to be in the starting lineup.
Yes.
I wouldn't be mad if we go KJ Martin. I wouldn't be mad if we throw KJ Martin in the starting lineup. Well, but I would rather consider Tyler Eason in that starting lineup if Eric Gordon gets traded.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. If Gordon gets traded, it's got to be between KJ and Tari, and I would be okay if they even switched off, or if you're getting given Tari Eason those starter level minutes off the bench, the sixth man. I'd be okay with that too, just because Tari Eason for that bench role, he's just so effective. And again, like I said, in his 3 career starts so far, he's put up almost 14 and 10, which is just 2 points less than Şengün and half a rebound less than Şengün. So Şengün's starting, so I would say if we can get 2 guys out there that are getting almost 10 rebounds a game on top of Jabari Smith, I mean, that's a defensive lineup, and that will also be able to kind of help our less defensively active backcourt there in Jalen and KPJ. I really think that'll be an absolutely fantastic backcourt. Or if you want to go with KJ, you still have that length and athleticism and speed. And I would say that KJ is probably a little bit higher basketball IQ than Tari, but KJ is also not a rookie. He's been in the league, for a year and a half, 2 years now. So I would say, that makes sense on that end. But Jayshawn Tate, I would like to say 6 for 10 from the field. And what was it, in the third or fourth quarter where he's got the 2 defenders on him in the paint, he pump fakes, gets Jaden. Jaden Duran's come flying in, pump fakes him too. Oh my gosh, man. I was jumping out of my seat for that. I was so happy. Oh my goodness. And Tate, I know we will probably trade you, but man, I love your game, man. 13 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Just wow, in 20 minutes of play.
And I kind of mentioned the big rebound that he got when KJ Martin missed the free throw that kept that possession alive. Even though he did miss the putback, but getting that offensive rebound and missing the putback allowed Jalen Duran to contest the putback and allow KJ Martin to come on the backside and lay it back up and in. That was a big play right there. And then Jabari Smith Jr., like I say, shot 2 for 12, but he made the play of the game pretty much.
He did.
The previous play, he got that foul called on by Alec Burks running into him and getting his arm stuck. The second time, he played it perfectly. He went for the basketball and got the tie up and won the tip. That would see, that's what I like. If you're not playing well on the offensive side, hey, Jabari Smith is a hell of a defender. He was not playing well, but he played great on the defensive board side, and he got a big stop when we needed him to get that big stop right there.
Oh my gosh, I loved how afterwards his energy. Again, like we were saying, his energy. It was just phenomenal. He's yelling. Oh my goodness. I liked how when he was coming back for the jump ball, if you look back, he's like looking like he's trying not to smile. He's like looking down. Man, I know he was so proud of us. He was talking so much shit right there. Absolutely. I will be too, because Alec Burks was trying to give us the business. I forgot he was still even in the league. I didn't even know he was on the Pistons. I forgot I knew he was on the Kings. I didn't know he was over there. I don't know when he got there, but Jabari. To go along with that, he had 3 blocks, 2 steals, and 12 rebounds. Like you said, he didn't shoot too well from the field, 2 for 12 with 7 points, but he hit the free throws he needed. He went 3 for 4, which is what we've been really harping on, is those free throws. And again, I mean, 7 and 12 is solid for me, especially when your other 2 front court players are combining for 31 points, and you got your guard combining for, your guards combining for 33 out there. Just really fantastic way of ball movement, all around team game. You know, I mean, there's a couple guys you could say played better, but I mean, it was just this is a team game. We needed every single point tonight from
Yep.
everybody, and everyone contributed. No one got too angry. We were getting a little complacent, like I said, but no one was getting angry. They weren't getting touches. No one was, being lackadaisical. John Lucas kept the energy throughout the entire game, and I love that. We need more John Lucas.
Facts, exactly. That's what we need. More John Lucas. Like I say, something about that different energy and that different voice that we got in there. And John Lucas, when Steven Silas is out, he's 2-0. He's 2-0. And one came against the Milwaukee Bucks, an elite team in the Eastern Conference, and Detroit. I mean, we struggled to beat great bad teams. We struggled to beat Charlotte. We couldn't even beat Charlotte. Who's a bad team as well. Minnesota, who's an okay team. They're not a great team, but we definitely got to win up out of them. So other than that, like I say, man, I love John Lucas. I love his like I say, just him playing the game, and he used to play for us, like I said, at a high level. But he knows how to make the adjustments when a team like is making a run. He knows how to stop the bleeding. He knows how to call a timeout once he senses the game is getting back in the game, or the game getting out of hand. He knows how to call a timeout and stop the bleeding and settle the guys down. And the player, you can tell the players relate to him. You can tell the players respect him and will play for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love the energy, Why don't we get that from Silas? That's what I want to know. Why is Silas like this good cop, kind of like, oh, it's okay, you made mistakes, I'm gonna coddle you, like, bro, no, like, this is like, you guys are grown men, like, you're kids compared to other people, but you are a grown ass man, okay? And you are in a league with players who make 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year. You got to come in, and again, if you're a rookie, you get the rookie pass. Absolutely, I understand that. But third, fourth, fifth year players, or again, our coaching, you cannot sit there and like hold their hand on every step. That's not how it works. I know Mike Budenholzer didn't hold Giannis's hand. Matter of fact, Giannis was screaming at his bench. I know you remember that in 2021 when they was in the finals game. They lost that third game, and Giannis is on the bench. He's yelling. He's letting them know what's really good. Or it was after the second game, and he's yelling, and they came back and won 4 straight. That's the energy we need, is to be able to come out there and just it's not like they being disrespectful. They just telling you sometimes you got to get yelled at, especially as men. Sometimes you got to yell at us so we can say, "Oh, okay, you're right."
This what kind of brings me back to that point what John Wall said. When John Wall actually said in that interview, and I'm glad that he kind of came out. The guys were doing what they wanted to do, and John Wall confronted them. Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green was feeling themselves, and John Wall confronted them and told them, if you was with another team, you won't play. And you see, if you wonder, Steven Silas letting the guys do whatever they want to do. Is he a yes man? If he's being walked over by players and certain players listening to what he's saying or buying in, that kind of makes me question that the players are not really buying in. But they get out there and play hard for John Lucas. They're buying in. They're doing everything it takes to go out there and win the game, win or lose. Where if they lose, they playing hard. Where if they win, they're playing much harder. So you can arguably make a case that it's a big difference right there what John Wall said. And James Harden didn't come to training camp. He even put that out there. James Harden was skipping practices and didn't want to come to training camp. But like I say again, you would deal with that headache off the team because he didn't want to play. He didn't want to play any goddamn way. He didn't want to play any goddamn way for us anymore. So he did, Steven Silas walked into that. I gave him a pass on that. But you got to go back. Like, I went back to what John Wall said, and I said, and it's carrying over to this season. Is the players walking over him and doing what they want to do? Is there not playing? Is something going on between him and the players? Jalen Green sometimes comes out on the bench not happy with Steven Silas. Body language sometimes be bad when we're down. The spirit goes down automatically when we're sometimes in games where we're down. You can see in that Wizards game. Immediately we go down, we stop fighting. Utah game. Immediately we go down, we stop fighting. John Lucas, we down, we keep fighting. He calls a timeout. The guys are listening. They're motivated. They're looking at him.
Facts.
And when Silas is calling a timeout, we're down. There, somebody people are not all looking at him and listening to what he's saying. So that makes me question that they're not really always bought into Steven Silas, but John Lucas, they're really bought into him. It's just a difference the way we're playing with John Lucas with Steven Silas.
Yeah, absolutely. It just really seems like there's like a just. It's like when you got when you were in class, right? And you got a substitute teacher. You don't care what this substitute teacher gonna say at all.
Yeah.
You just come into class because you know exactly what it's gonna be. Either you're gonna have a crappy day because you choose to, or you're like, man, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna get rode up. I don't even care.
Yep.
And then the teacher come back, John Lucas, and he tell you, hey, you're gonna be held responsible for this. You're gonna be held responsible for that. We're holding you accountable for that. And you straighten up. You sit straight and everything. You make sure, yep, I'm here for him.
You make sure you're doing your assignment, you're doing your work and all that. You're doing your work. But when the substitute teacher is out there, you ain't got to do no damn work. I'm just taking a day out. I'm sleeping and I'm doing everything. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the dynamic it feels. It's a reverse, though, because John Lucas is our head coach. You figure if our guy's going to be listening to anybody, it's Steven Silas. But I wonder, like you said, is Steven a yes man? Because he was telling John Wall, talking about yeah, man, you can start. You deserve to start. We'll start you. Nah, actually, you're going to be a bench role. I think you deserve to be a bench role. Oh, you don't want that no more. All right, you can go home. We don't need you. You can go home. Bro, we needed you, John Wall. Now, I was happy that we could tank and had him sit out. Whatever. But he should have at least played 30 games. I don't think him playing
basically sit down for free. And he said they were trying to lose. That's what I'm saying. That's why when I looked at the interview, the way he said things, and I laughed. He said we were trying to lose. He put it out there just like that with for realness, with no smile on his face. And the guys in front of him that were interviewing was laughing and all that. He said we were trying to lose. James Harden didn't come to no training camps at all. He come to no training camps. We were trying to lose games. And he said he would come off the bench. But don't just let Jalen Green walk in now and just give him a spot. Let him earn it. And that's and he's right. He's been a top 5 point guard in the league already. He's been a multiple time All-Stars. He's been on all defensive team as a point guard, so he knows what it's like to earn a spot. You don't just give someone a spot. He just came out and told him. But he also, the one thing that I'm saying right now that I really picked up from Jalen Green and Kevin Porter did what they wanted to do. They did what they wanted to do and when they wanted to do it. So that's why I don't see a change in that part, because when I'm looking at other teams like getting on a run, and I'm looking at the body language when they're coming back from behind and they sitting on the bench, I'm looking at guys looking down. I'm looking at guys not paying attention to what he's saying.
Yep.
And I'm looking at guys, immediately quit after we give up the lead.
Yep.
And with Coach Lucas, I'm looking at guys fight, dive on the floor for loose balls, get rebounds. When a run has been made,
absolutely,
he calls a timeout. People are looking at him. And he's talking to them really, he's motivating the guys. He's playing the right rotation. He's playing the guys that supposed to be played, not guys that don't supposed to be playing. That's what he's doing. And that's a big step up when John Lucas is playing. But I still think guys are really not buying into Silas. I think guys are really not buying into Silas. I don't think certain guys are listening really to him. I just think, we need a coach that's going to buy in, that's not going to take no crap, no bullshit. Because at the end of the day, this is the NBA. You're not just trying to play to lose. You're trying to play to win and get better. And I feel like we need a coach that's going to instill discipline and that's going to not let guys do what the hell they want to do. I don't care how good Jalen Green is or Kevin Porter. We do not let those guys do what they want to do because they're young guys. Yes, they're going to feel themselves. They're going to try you. And I think guys are trying Steven Silas. I think they're really trying Steven Silas, and they're playing hard for John Lucas. They're not trying John Lucas because John Lucas definitely know what it takes.
He gonna whip the shape.
Yes.
Yeah, he gonna let him know what's good.
Yep.
I understand that Silas's father used to play in the NBA. However, no disrespect to Silas's late father, respect him and his grace, but he was not a good He was not a good basketball player.
No, he was never good. Never
he
good.
Was not, he was not a he was like okay because he made the NBA. You know, he's better than most 98% of any regular street person will ever be. Absolutely, but in terms of the NBA, I mean, just not good. And then I mean, even as a coach, he wasn't good. He was never on any winning team ever. I think he made the playoffs in his what he coached for about 18, 20 years. He made the playoffs twice in that stint there, you know. And I think one of the times with the Hornets, back
he was LeBron James' first ever head coach.
Yeah, and we saw what happens once he got up out of there. LeBron literally went to the finals.
Yep.
You know, it's just real tough. And Silas is following that same pattern. He's just coming in, and despite him having the wisdom of his father, he being able to utilize that in his own right with this Houston Rockets team that gave him a chance, gave him a 4-year contract, said, hey, we're going to make sure we understand that you're going to lose, but we want to see progression on the court. And sometimes it feels like, to quote Eric Gordon, there is no improvement. You know, it really feels like that. But when John Lucas is coaching, I mean, you can see from the very first moment of tip-off to the ball is dead and game is over. It's 100% from everybody. Everyone's got that KJ Usman energy the entire game. And there's just something different about that. You know, I wonder if the respect is among the players is that, like you said, John Lucas, he not only played for the city, but he's fought for everything he's ever had. He's never had anything handed to him. So when he talks, they listen. Versus Silas, he got handed that assistant coaching job. He got handed that offensive coordinating job over at Golden State, you know, and then he got handed this head coaching job here at Houston. So you got to think, are they looking at him like a golden child, you know? And then like everyone else is a product of their environment. They all just assume they should get, not all of them, but, you know, like Jalen and KPJ and John Wall's words, they just assume they should just have these positions, these amount of shots, these amount of touches per possession. You know, are they looking at Silas as a way of saying like, oh, well, he just gets everything he wants.
Yep.
So shouldn't I? Because I'm the star of the team. So you need to cater to me.
Yep.
You know, versus John Lucas. John Lucas fought for every gosh dang thing he's had. They say, Bet, I'm going to look up to you, Lucas. You say something, I'm listening. I'm here.
Yep. I'm going to listen. I'm going to do what I have to do. Because you remember, you go back to last year, I believe it was the Denver game. It was the Denver game when John Lucas really tore into Kevin Porter Jr. and it got to the point where he left the stadium. Yes. He left the court. That frustrated Kevin Porter Jr. and he got suspended in that game. I think he tore into him and Christian Wood for not giving the effort, and Christian Wood didn't want to come into the game. And some terms you do need a coach like that won't take no crap. Yep. That won't take no crap. And ever since then, Kevin Porter Jr. responded. Kevin Porter Jr. did respond. And you know what Christian Wood decided to do the very next night? We played Golden State just to score, decide not to score. Decide just to pass the ball and not score on purpose. And
he hit a lady that next game because he just threw the ball out of nowhere and he hit a lady's courtside.
Yep, that's what he did. And I just think people, you know, it's good that I kind of, that we kind of bringing it up on the show because, again, that takes me back to the John Wall interview when guys are doing what they want to do, like Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green, but they respect the hell out of, Coach John Lucas and these players. Certain players are not really buying in to what Stephen Silas is doing, and you can see it on the court. It shows on the court time and time again when we have leads. And, guys just giving up. Guys just having their heads down, getting up, not want to play defense. And then in the timeouts, you should see how they go get in the timeouts. When he calls a timeout, when the team is already on a damn 10-0 run or a 20-0 run, the guys' heads are down. They're not focused on him. And with John Lucas, the game yesterday, the guys were literally looking up at John Lucas. John Lucas literally called a timeout and did this. Y'all come on over here, guys. We're going to settle down. We're going to get back to what we were doing in the first half. And that's exactly what got the Rockets that win because he called a timeout and he stopped the bleeding. And he told the guys, let's go back and let's do what got us the lead in the first half. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. I don't know, something about that, And I think another thing that kind of helps deter the difference between how our young players respond to Silas versus Lucas is because Eric Gordon also responds differently to Lucas. Eric Gordon, the veteran, that whether they want to say it or not, Eric Gordon is looked up to by the rest of our team. I mean,
Yep,
the closest
yep.
player on the team to Eric Gordon in terms of play style and way to get buckets is probably Josh Christopher, and if we being straight up, it's probably Jacob. And to kind of see how Eric Gordon that first game against the Bucks and then this game now, just his energy. That's like I said, this is a theme, just his energy, his demeanor, his the way he plays is just different. And I mean, we got Point Gordon out there, and like every time Eric Gordon is running the show with Silas, we're like, no, put literally anybody else at point,
Yep.
anybody else at point. And then the one game that we got Eric Gordon at point with Lucas, he gets 7 assists and 0 turnovers. Excuse me?
Yep.
When was the last time Gordon had 0 turnovers?
And I forgot this scenario too, with Bruno Fernando yelling at somebody from a defensive
Knicks.
switch. When the last time that never happens with Coach Steven Silas?
Nope.
That never happens. Bruno Fernando literally got on. I believe it was Tari Eason because the camera flipped on.
Knicks.
It was Hicks. It
Yep.
was Knicks.
Yep.
Okay, so he literally got on Dacian Knicks about his defensive effort. Keep the man in front of you. You can hear him. You can hear him out loud and yelling. You can hear him out loud. Don't just let a man just go right by you. And you never heard that from Steven. When Lone Steven Silas was on the court, on the sideline coaching, you just really never heard nobody come out and just get on a certain player. You never heard a player get on a certain player and yell at a player. And
Yeah.
Bruno Fernando was very frustrated when that happened. And after that, the intensity went up. And, John Lucas just brings a different vibe to this team, man.
Yeah.
I never heard nobody communicate. I never heard the team communicate the way they always did, the way they did. It was so happy and motivated.
Yeah.
The way they were.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, they were motivated and they were happy. And like that Bruno play, I forget which 2 players. I think it was Jalen Duren and another were in a pick and roll.
Yeah. They were in pick and roll situation. Yep.
The guard ran right behind Bruno. So Bruno has his hands up with the guard behind him. He goes up for a layup. And then Dacian Knicks is just staring at him, ball watching as he's going up. And so and LeBron meme to JR, hitting him with that. Better example here. He's hitting at JR, we got Bruno out there hitting the LeBron on Knicks because Knicks just watches this defensive breakdown happen, and I'm saying switch, turn around, he's behind you. He just watches it happen. Just watch it happen. So Bruno's pissed, and rightfully so, because he got the foul called on him too. It was an and-1, and that shouldn't have been a foul. He didn't touch him or nothing. The offensive guy initiated contact, so if anything, that's an offensive foul. But again, I digress. It just in general, there was so much more communication, so much more energy, so much more positivity, so much more to take away from this game than any of the others, minus that 42 piece from Jalen. I mean, something about this with Lucas, is just phenomenal. And we go back to it, like after the season, we should not keep Silas. Again, I love the man as a person. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to him in any way whatsoever, but he's just not our coach. We can't do it anymore. Get us Kenny Atkinson, or if we're gonna do it just for 1 season, I'd rather have John Lucas coach us for a season. I'd rather give him a shot, just 1 season, and then you can go back to being assistant coach. That's fine, whatever. But I mean, some sort of change needs to happen, because if we have another season where we finish with less than 20 games, this looks bad on all players. It doesn't.
That's bad on all players. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how well it looks like we're playing. I mean, media coverage is going to make us look bad. Players are going to start getting in their heads. I mean, Devin Booker there for a minute when on the Suns, no matter how hard, man put up 70 points in an L. I can't imagine how mad you got to be. You put up 70 points.
You can't be satisfied with losing. I don't give a damn how young you are. Devin Booker even came out and voiced his frustration. I'm not going to be satisfied with losing. And what the front office did, got this man a new head coach in Monty Williams. They built around him, Chris Paul. They were good in the bubble, and they just built off the momentum.
Yep.
Now, at this point in the offseason, it looked like this season is going to turn out to be terrible, to be bad. I don't know if we're going to win over 20 games this year. I don't know that. But it would be real disappointing to see us winning only 19 games and really not improving. 20 games, really not showing no progress and improving. and improving. And John Wall already stated and saying we're trying to lose. That's not a good look on the organization. Who's going to want to come and play for Houston if we continue the same shit every single year, not improving, just throwing away games? How many times you want to just throw away games? It's got to be a change in the head coaching department, and you
Yeah.
can't go another season, you know, with Steven Silas not getting the job done. I mean, he had a whole season already. If you want to give him a pass, you can give him a pass for the first year with James Harden. Last year, he doesn't get a pass from last year. No excuses. We didn't win that much. I believe how many games we won? About like 20 games last year.
Oh, yeah. I think we won 19 games.
19 games last year. 19 games, and we won 17 the year before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 17. So you won 17 and 19 games. This year, we already at 12. We at 12 wins. If we can't get more than 20 wins, something has got to happen with Steven Silas. Something got to happen with his coaching style.
Yeah,
I'm not going to keep getting frustrated over 19 loss win seasons, 50 loss, 60 loss seasons. That's not good. That's not showing no signs of improvement. It's going to be hard for people to come play for us and get better.
Facts, absolutely. To answer your question, last year we had a record of 20-62, which is just absolutely atrocious. And then the year before that COVID season, we won 17 games and lost 55. I mean, again, that first season we went on a 20-game losing streak. It was COVID, very first year. John Wall, kind of going in. James Harden issues. Christian Wood, first Harden, year, whatever. Last year, only winning 20 games out of 62. I'll give him some credit in regards to that was his first official coaching year. And he had rookie Jalen Green. He had KPJ still kind of learned. We'd switched him to point guard. So if anything, KPJ is a rookie. Şengün is a rookie dealing with Christian Wood's attitude problems, and Eric Gordon kind of floating around, not wanting to be here. I'll give him some credit. If anything, I'll be generous. I'll give him 10 games. Okay, 10 games.
Yeah.
Still 20-62. And then, I mean, it turns out this year we are 12-38, ladies and gentlemen. That is out of 50 games right now. I can't see us winning 20 games if we're going to be, not my usual Rockets optimistic man. We win 19-18. If we win more than 20, I'll be shocked.
I'll be shocked. If we don't win, I'm gonna say this: if we don't win over at least 22 games, that's gonna be hard to do because the way we play and the way he coaches, if we don't win over 22 games and we somehow win 18 or 17 or 19 in that area, I will be real disappointed that we can't win more than 20 games. And I'm seeing a young team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, as young as we are, actually improve, get better than us. Yeah. Even though we did beat them, we do own a win. We do own a win against them. So we're actually technically better on the court as of right now. We do play them on Wednesday, I believe, which is technically we're better on the court. But far as improvement wise against other teams, no matter if it's against Boston, New Orleans, they're beating the good teams. They're beating very good
24
teams.
24-25.
Hey, they're one game out of the play-in tournament. And to see a young team as young as that we are, and we're not showing no signs of improvement or no development, that's frustrating there. That's really frustrating.
I mean, if we had won 24 games around with the Thunder right now, we would be 3.5 games back from the 5th seed. That's how closely contested it is. And here we are at the bottom with the worst record in the league, 12-38. I mean, the Pistons are 13-38. Hornets are 15-36. Orlando Magic, which I hate to say it, they look really good.
They look really good.
19-31. Even San Antonio, who just traded away their all-star player last year, which is controversial. People can say what they want in the comments. Let us know how you feel about that. But their all-star player, DeJounte Murray, to the Hawks, and they still got 2 more games on us. We lost Christian Wood. Sure, he's a borderline 21-10 guy all-star. Fine, whatever. But We got Şengün. He getting 10 rebounds. 17 points a game.
We actually got guys that's averaging double figures, and we still can't win games.
We still can't win games.
We still can't win games. And most of the games that we have played, we've been in. Mm-hmm. We have lost in the fourth quarter or in the second half. We lost twice in the second half to Dallas at home. We lost to New Orleans. We lost to Charlotte in the second half. We lost to San Antonio twice in the second half. We lost most of those games in the second half and in the fourth quarter. So we had opportunities to win games.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Again, I'm not a coach. I'm not we're not here to come on and say, yeah, we can do better. But I mean, Silas is not. I mean,
yep.
Look. The Pacers have an all-star Tyrese Haliburton. He can get you 20 and 10 on almost any night. I didn't think he was that good, but here he is playing absolutely phenomenal with the Pacers. Yes, he's got Buddy Hield. Yes, he's got Miles Turner. I absolutely understand that. However, our front office is not giving our coach the necessary pieces. Again, Bruno Fernando started over Şengün the first couple games. Just want to put that out there. Bruno Fernando. Dude, that hurts me so much. To even revel in that kind of thought back in the day. I mean, man. And then we still got Eric Gordon starting, and it's just real tough. I think what it comes down to is not only coaching, but our front office needs to be charged with war crimes with how they've treated our team. Like who puts this? Because at the end of the day, basketball is entertainment for fans. Who puts this team out for entertainment and says buy our merch? If there were no Rockets fans, if the franchise started today, right, or started at the beginning of the season, okay, clean slate, and you're 12-38 for the very first time, very new, fresh team, this front office put this team together, they're looking at Bruno Fernando and laughing. Why'd you pick him up? Looking at Garrison Matthews. Why'd you pick him up? They're looking at Daishen Nix. Why did you pick him up? Yeah. But we're the Rockets, so we get a pass. And I can't let that slide, I'm not a fan of that.
Y'all not a fan of that either. It's been, I know we a rebuild, you're gonna go through some tough times. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you want to see progress out of this team, and we're not seeing it. We're not seeing progress up out of this team, and we got guys that average double-figure points. The whole lineup actually is averaging double-figure points per game. Jabari Smith Jr. is averaging 12 points per game. You got KJ Martin, who's putting up double figures off the bench. Tari Eason, who's putting up double figures off the bench. Jayshawn Tate is putting up double-figure points off the bench. Jalen Green is putting up 20 points per game. Kevin Porter Jr. is putting up at least 19 to 20 points per game. We got guys that can play on the floor, that can easily play on the floor. And we're not showing progress, but the Thunder are a better team. They're much younger than we are, or we are the same age as them, at least average. And they're showing more progress with the same amount of young players. We may have more players that's more experienced than they are, but at the end of the day, they're showing progress, more progress than we are. At the end of the day, with a young head coach, with an all-star, a superstar, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the only superstar on the team. Pretty much, you got an up-and-coming star in Josh Giddey. Chet Holmgren hasn't even played.
Yeah,
that rookie hasn't even played the whole season. Will not play.
Second pick of the draft.
Will not play the whole season. Will not play the whole season, and they can damn near get a play-in spot. But we sitting up here being a laughing stock of the league with almost, you can say, better players besides Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah. In that 2020-2021 season, I recall Charles Barkley on ESPN Sports calling the Rockets the Knicks of the West, and man, I was so furious. I was so angry because James Harden was still on the team. We were still the 8th or 7th seed, and I was just so angry. And then it hit me like, yeah, right now the way our coaching staff is, the way our front office is trying to get these trades, losing out on trades. I mean, we pretty close to how the Knicks was this last couple years, right after Carmelo. It's really disappointing to say that, or even the Cavs right after LeBron left. I mean, and we all saw how the Cavs went from what was it, 2019 to 2021. Just, I mean, 14 games won, 18 games won, 17 games won. First time they had a winning record without LeBron to make the playoffs was last year. That's the first time that's happened since LeBron has been in the league. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely insane. Yeah. As to the Thunder, though, what I will say, what I will push back on is that you have all defensive player Lou Dort. You have your all-star superstar Shai Gilgeous. You've got really nice pieces out there, and they work as a team, right? They don't run that ISO heavy ball that we like to run for whatever reason, even though it's not generating any wins whatsoever. We run this ISO heavy pick and roll, and then we call it good. Like, yep, we're just gonna run this, and whatever happens, happens. Versus the Thunder, they really switched it up. I mean, they've got a better record than Portland right now, and they were trying to get Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, and Damian Lillard as all-stars this season, and that would be absolutely insane if those three were all-stars. And frankly, Shai's almost on the level of Dame, and not that I'm saying they're equal players, but in terms of the player ABC bracket, Shai's hovering right around there, in that territory of that Kyrie Dame land, because he's just so effective. And again, he's got a better record than the Thunder, and they're 2 games behind. One game actually, or two wins behind the Phoenix Suns, and they just went to the finals 2 years ago. And you got all-star Chris Paul, all-star DeAndre Ayton, in my opinion, all-star superstar Devin Booker, and the Thunder are 2 games behind them. That's insane to think about,
Yep.
I mean, the Thunder's got a better record than the Chicago Bulls, and they got DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine,
They have
Andre Drummond
players. They have superstar players on the team, and they're better than Chicago.
Yeah, that's really tough to take in there. Yeah. Speaking of Thunder, like you said, we play them coming up here on Wednesday. Got any late game predictions? Any money you think you want to put down on this game? Because frankly, with you, I don't know how it's going to go. I think it could go either way.
They can go the same way how every game been going. We can have a good first half and then lose it in the third and fourth quarter. It can go the same way how it always been have. Steven Silas, I believe, will be back on the court side again. But other than that, I believe we got the ability to keep the game close. Now, we can keep the game close going through 4 quarters. We'll feel good about ourselves with an opportunity to win the game, which is we do got veteran guys that's more experienced than them. But, they got a good player in Lou Dort. They got an all-star, not an all-star, superstar player, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's unstoppable. They got Jalen Williams, who's really good, too. Jalen Williams, who's actually good. So they're a pretty formidable team, and the Rockets are good enough to handle them. The problem is, can we not turn the ball over? Can we make shots? Can we make free throws? That's what it's going to come down to. And if we can keep the game close going into the fourth quarter or had a lead, we got to close the fourth quarter out if we had a lead.
Yeah, looking at the stats between this year with OKC and Houston, they score more points than us. They get more assists. They get more steals, blocks, less turnovers, higher field goal percentage all the way through, field goal, 3-point, and free throw percentage. Only thing we do better than them is rebound. And we only do that by 2 rebounds a game, almost 3. And, it's going to take an effort. And I would like to see Silas back, but I would honestly want to see Silas kick back and relax and go to Cancun for a couple days, and let John Lucas come in and show him what's really good. Because I think we can beat this OKC team with John Lucas as our coach, to be honest with you. I think we would. I think either if we're not winning is a close game within 5-7 points, but we are not getting blown out by this team with John Lucas on our team.
Yep. And we was able to beat them. Dom beat them badly last time we played them. And we were just hot that whole game. But again, it's all about making adjustments when a team is hot. And John Lucas does a great job of doing that. And Steven Silas does not do a great job of stopping the bleeding. So they're going to get on the run. They're going to get on the run if it's early or late in the game. They're going to get on the run. But how can the Rockets maximize that run? Can they be able to stop the bleeding against of the Oklahoma City Thunder? And we shall see on Wednesday.
Yeah, last time we played them, final score was 105-118, and at that time we were 5-14. I was so excited because I thought like maybe we'll have a good record this year. I was really hopeful, and then our 13 game slide came, and it just those hopes and dreams went out the window. But yeah, so looking around the league, it's almost time for trades to come to an end. All-Star break is coming up. The trade deadline's coming up. There was one trade I saw floated out there because this guy's always in the trade market. You know who I'm talking about. John Collins. A power forward, center type, power forward, small forward. He can play any of those three positions down low. He can guard the 3 through 5. He's a fantastic rebounder. John Collins is playing for the Atlanta Hawks currently. For the last 3 years, he's been shopped around. Currently, this season, he's averaging 13.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 1.2 assists with his 2 all-star backcourt guys down low. I'm not going to lie. I put out a poll to see if people wanted to trade for John Collins out on Twitter. I received about 49 votes. I had a couple options here. You can either trade for John Collins, don't trade for John Collins, stop the Rockets front office in general, or trade Silas for John Collins. And believe it or not, the most votes were just stopping the Rockets front office. I'm not really a fan of this John Collins trade because, hypothetically speaking, we'd have to give up KJ, potentially Jayshawn Tate, Eric Gordon in a deal because this would have to be a 3-team trade between us and the Bucks, hypothetically speaking. Us receiving those 4 second-round picks from the Bucks, but also we'd have to give up 2 first-round picks for John Collins, the 2027 Brooklyn Nets picks and our 2025 Houston Rockets pick. I am not a fan of getting John Collins,
No,
let alone for that kind of return.
no, and John Collins not that type of player to give up any type of returns of first round picks or 2 first round picks for. So at the end of the day, I just let John Collins go to another contender or another playoff or another team that they decide to trade him for. I do not want John Collins a part of this team at all because it's going to make him frustrated, even more frustrated that we're losing any damn way.
No.
And he's another player that needs the basketball in his hands to be effective. So at the end of the day, I do not like the trade. I just want to trade Eric Gordon, get some picks, or if we have to trade Jayshawn Tate, get a late first round pick or second round pick for Jayshawn Tate. Just collect draft picks at this point of time.
Yep.
At this point of time, and let guys like Josh Christopher, Tata Washington, or something like that develop as the season goes on, and trade some of these players to contending playoff teams who needs them, like a Garrison Matthews or something like that. So I do not want no player that wants to come in and that needs the ball, or no player that wants to come in off a playoff team and to be frustrated because he's on a losing squad. I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want a Christian Wood 2.0 scenario.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring in this guy who's also making about 25 million for the next 4 years, who is not worth 25 million. Okay, I mean, if if you got a guy who's coming in putting up 13.5 points per game on $25 million a year, no, I mean, everyone was upset that James Harden was putting up what was it last year, 21, 9, and 11, and people shit on him for making $48 million. This year he's making $33 million. Took that huge $50 million pay cut to help the Philadelphia 76ers out, and they're my championship team. But as well as just in general, I mean, he is getting dumped on for not having a great contract per se. Or Russell Westbrook making $48 million this season and putting up 14, 7, and 7. I wouldn't want a player $48 million putting up 14, 7, and 7, let alone 13, 7, and 1. He's not worth 25 million in my opinion. And frankly, if we get John Collins, he'll probably start at a 4 position, move Jabari down to the 3. Şengün is still probably our best player at that point. So we're paying Şengün like $7 million a year right now off that rookie deal. So he sees John Collins and he thinks, oh, well, if he's making 25, I want this. No. Now, LP, we can talk about contracts, in another pod, but no, I'm not paying John Collins $25 million a year, especially because his last year is also a player option, about $27 million, give or take. So I'm not, no, almost $30 million for 13 points and 7 rebound guy, putting up less than 1.5 blocks a game in this unstoppable Hawks defense. I'm not with that. Now,
Yep.
what I would like to do, like you said, is I want to reap draft picks, get as many of those as we can, and build our assets because this season we'll have about $60 million in cap space. Then maybe we can get some sort of disgruntled star, right? Not necessarily a Bradley Beal type guy, because I sure as hell don't want to pay him $50 million a year.
Yep.
He had that fake all-star season. He put up 32 points per game next to Russell Westbrook. That was not, and we look at what he's doing now, putting up less than 25 points per game. Absolutely not. I do not want Bradley Beal, but someone like that, someone who's upset in their position, who makes solid money. I could say 30, 34 million if they are an all-star caliber guy. Like, if Jaylen Brown wants to leave, he can sure as hell come right on over here. I will take Jaylen Brown any day of the week. But that's just my example, you know?
Yep. I mean, but like to your point, we get Jaylen Brown or someone, like Bradley Beal and get Jaylen Brown. You got players that want to want to come too. You're gonna have some players that are gonna want to come play. Anytime you get that star type of player, you're gonna have some other guys following behind them and want to come play. So it's all about, right after the season, can we land that guy in free agency? Can we get someone to come play for us that want to come play, that wants a part of their own squad, and that wants to lead a squad to bigger and better things? But it starts how we handle in the trade deadline in a couple of more weeks. It should be a big trade deadline. We should be awfully busy at the trade deadline, just trading Eric Gordon away. And if a call come in to Jay Shante, I'm letting it be known right now. I'm listening, and if it's the right deal, I'm trading him. Sorry, he's a great player. We love him, and he just will be better off on a championship contending or a playoff contending team. While other guys are gonna, like Tyree Eason, KJ Martin, continues to go. Yeah, KJ Martin continue to be an asshole. You let him go too. You let him go too. But I haven't heard nothing out of KJ Martin. I haven't heard nothing about KJ Martin. But I still don't know his mindset. I still don't know if he wants to be here or not, or if he just wants to get paid or be in the starting lineup. Now, if he shows some signs that I want to be a part of the starting lineup, I want to be a part of this team, then you give him his money. You pay him. But if he hasn't told you anything, and he still wants out when you talk to him, then you just trade him. You don't want nobody that don't want to be a part of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to lose him for nothing either. He's too good. He's too valuable. And honestly, we could probably get a mid-first round pick. #Phoenix Suns for KJ. I would absolutely be okay with that. Even if we got to do a KJ Eric Gordon trade to get a first, maybe 2 seconds, that would work for me. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, we don't want to be selling low and buying high, on players. I think if we're going to make trades, we got to do it soon. And like you said about KJ, I believe that trade deadline or the contract deadline to re-sign him before his end of his contract year ends, I think, the week after free agency, or the Monday after free All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
So we should probably get on that right now. And he's probably still buying low. So let's buy on him now, like we did with Jay Sean. So we got 2 friendly team deals for our forwards. We can ship off Jay Sean to a solid team. Hopefully the Bucks will take him, or the Heat. I think those would be teams that would, really, really benefit from a playmaking 3. And I would even let him run him point, especially for the Heat. I would let him run point over at the Heat over Kyle Lowry, because he's just had an absolutely atrocious season. I mean, Fred VanVleet's outplaying him over in Toronto, and he's having a down season. But yeah, I would say that's probably going to do it for us here. I'm going to get this draft lottery spin going at tankathon.com. We're running a little long today, but we had a lot to talk about.
We had a lot to talk about. It was a good conversation. We had a lot to get off our chest and a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. So right now, we currently have the best odds. We are 52% to get a top 4 and 14% to get the first overall pick. And we have the best odds to get the first overall pick right now. We are sitting at number 1 with the worst record in the league, as per usual. So let's see what's going on. All right. So Detroit moves up, we move down. Detroit gets Wemby, we get Scoot, and then Charlotte, the Pelicans get that Lakers pick, and San Antonio are 1 through 5. Man, if we get Scoot, I don't know how it's going to work with KPJ. I'm just going to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. We get another guard. I don't know how it's going to work with Kevin Porter Jr. Somebody have to sacrifice to sit on the bench or come off of the bench. But like I say, I think we got too many good guards. Unless you're not high on Josh Christopher or something like that, and something dramatically happen, or Tata Washington, then I can see Scoop coming here. But we have too many guards that's really actually good. And I really don't think nothing is really going on with our guard play. I just think we can use more help at the front court situation more than we can use more help at the back court situation.
If we fall out of top 3, say we get, or top 2 actually, say we get the 4th pick or 3rd pick, I say we trade down to the number 10 pick and then get some sort of good young player, like Josh Green or something like that, and then or an Anthony, someone like that along those lines, and then maybe pick Anthony Black at 10. If we don't get top 2, it's over for Houston this year. We absolutely have to capitalize on Wemby or Scoot this season. And man, if we fumble this up, if we get number 1 or number 2, we don't pick either of those guys, I might have to quit basketball.
You ain't gonna. I know Houston ain't gonna be as good. If we get number 1, you ain't no way in world you can botch that. Ain't no way in hell you cannot pick Wemby. Ain't no way in hell you can botch that down. Ain't no way in hell you can get rid of that.
I mean, do you want to think about it? Chet and Bobo are the same as Wemby. If we're being real with it, maybe not to the same extent, to the same skill level, but they're the exact same player. A 7'2" guy, 7'4" guy who can come out, who can handle the ball, who can shoot, dunk, play make, and defend. Looks like a 2K created character. I mean, he can do it all. He really can.
Yep.
But what's gonna scare me is his weight. At the end of the day, that's what's gonna scare me is his weight.
Yep.
So. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. You can find us on YouTube. You can also find us at Twitter at B.O.P pod 713 on Twitter. You can also find me at Drip, DRIPP_GAWD on Twitter, as well as Instagram, same username. And Dante, let them know where they can find you before we go.
Yeah, y'all can find me on YouTube at Coach Dante. Y'all can find me on Twitter at Coach Dante 31.
Yeah, fantastic pod. Thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic week. Can't wait to see you next week. Let's get it, guys.
Let's get it, guys. Peace out.